I remember when I made my first $1 million. I'm like, dude, I made $1 million. Okay. I made $1 million. Do you know less than 4% of all businesses in America make $1 million a year? Less than 4%. Anybody in this room could do $1 million. It's $80,000 a month. It's $20,000 a week. It's $2,888 a day. Any person in America can make $2,888 a day. If you're committed, if the people around you are committed, if the target is clear, and if you push until you complete.
No money that you have is not the issue. It's not, oh, wow, it takes money to make money. It doesn't actually take money to make money. It takes courage to make money. It takes contacts to make money. Money is a contact sport. I need to make contact with people. Okay, it's not about skills. It's not about education. It's not about personality. It's not about tricks. It's about contacts. The more contacts I make, the more chances I have. And, somebody asked me recently, said, hey, would you rather 1 billion friends or $1 billion? I said, dude, give me 1 billion friends. 1 billion friends is worth at least $5 or $10 billion. $1 billion is only $1 billion. And if I can actually go make contact with 1 billion people and get them to trade money with me, just 5% of those people gave me $100 because I traded some service that was worth 1,000, I'd be worth $5 billion. So you see, most people don't understand the math of money. And they think money is about numbers. Money is not about numbers. Money is about people.
I've noticed in the past also you've talked a lot about discipline with money and how key this has been. I mean, can you talk to me more about that? Because obviously, what you've needed to pay to have success and financial freedom, because I guess everyone will see the wealth and the spending, but what price have you needed to pay?
Yeah, look, the price I had to pay was not to be broke and not to make excuses and not to feel sorry for myself and not to be a victim. The fact is, on this planet, if you don't have money, you're in trouble. Now, I know some of your audience, this message kind of just grinds out the individual because you're struggling with money. And you're like, oh, money's not all that. I'm not talking about watches and planes and big houses. I'm talking about having enough money that you have confidence in your ability to get up in the morning and say, hey, I can take care of the people I love. So I'm not talking about all the flaunting stuff, right? I'm talking about knowing within yourself, drop me off anywhere in the world. I just finished a project. It's going to be on TV in January. Discovery Channel says, hey, we're going to give you $100 and drop you off anywhere in the country. Can you turn it into $1 million? I said, where we going? Where we going, players? Where we going, man? As long as I can speak the language, I can do it. Okay, I have confidence in myself. And what is more valuable than confidence? There is no watch, no amount of money that is more valuable than knowing, hey, drop me off anywhere. I can take care of myself and my family. Take everything away from me. My name, my money, my brand, my credit. And leave me anywhere and I can take care of my family and actually build something that can take care of my family even if I'm not around.
Let's talk about when you started working for yourself, because most small businesses fail in the first few years, 1 to 3 years. Most don't make it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different numbers out there about that. Like 50% of all businesses fail by 7 years. The truth is, they were failing in the first 6 months.
Okay, what do you think they did wrong?
They don't know how to sell it. I mean, you go to Harvard, Yale, or MIT, if you do studies. Oh, the reason they were undercapitalized. Okay, look, this is completely ridiculous what they're telling you. Okay, you don't capitalize a business and then run out of money. That's not how you do a business, right? This is how Wall Street does a business. They rip people off. They basically go. Most companies developed by Wall Street or in Silicon Valley are complete rip-offs of the investors. You hear about the Netflix that made it. It might not still make it. It's still a negative cash flow business because they don't know how to sell their products fast enough, in quantities big enough, and at prices high enough to basically fund the future. So businesses fail for one reason and one reason only, because you can't sell your products fast enough, in quantities great enough, and at prices high enough to sustain the business. Thus, Harvard says, oh, they ran out of capital. Yeah. Why? Because they didn't sell their products. So if you can sell products fast enough, quantity is great enough. Google's a company you don't consider a sales company. Google sells products in quantities that are giant.
Yeah.
It profits margins that are high enough.
Explain how you went from a salesman who was in it and hated it.
Yeah.
To then, you moved on and became self-employed, and then you were speaking about sales, and you're like a sales expert. So that's what, 20 years in between, or 10 years?
Yeah, no, there was
timeline?
maybe 25. By the time I'm 26, I'm the top 1% of all salespeople in the auto industry. I didn't really know what that meant, but it was important to me that I was very good at what I was doing now. Now I was in. I went from hating a job in car sales. I remember going out with this girl and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm a car salesman." And she got that look on her face like, "Oh my God, that's worse than a man."
Yeah.
I mean, and I had this terrible thing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get great at it. I started studying sales every day. I started recording interviews. Like literally, you'd come in to buy a car from me, and I hired my mom. My mom was 70 years old at the time, and I hired my mom, and I said, "You sit over there and you take notes."
Really?
And watch her. Watch when I lose her. Watch what happens, and we're going to debrief at the end of the deal. And I'm going to see what's working and what's not. I'm recording myself, videoing myself. I'm using every little piece of technology 30 years ago I can to find out, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And what I was doing, I didn't know it then, but I was basically codifying sales. I was learning. What does it mean when I say I'm going to think about it? When is that real? When is it not? What does it mean when it says the price is too high? When's that real? When is not? And I started codifying and writing, taking notes, keeping all this information. I didn't know this would happen, but 5 years later, I'm out on the road, knocking on doors, selling a new way to sell things.
What you want is in the hands of a person. Whether you want to be the queen, the king, the president, you want to be Boris, you want to pull off the Brexit exit, you want to pull Brexit back in, whatever you want to do in life, man, whatever you're trying to convince people to do. You want to raise money for your charity. I've raised over $115 million for charities. I didn't do that because I understood math. I did it because I understand people.